Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanys Coughlan from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host. I got the right direction. Jennifer Jurkofsky.
I'm over here.
Oh, yes, which way it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
So let's say hello to some of the peeps, some of the best chatters. We have Kaylee. Hey, Kaylee.
Hello.
And we have Milani. Hello, hello. Welcome. And Jonathan. Hello. Hello, hello, hi. So, it is a day.
It's a day. It's a Monday. It's always a Monday when we're on here, though.
Energy is better today than it was over the weekend. Yeah. This is what I feel. It feels better.
I think it was just a really busy weekend. Too.
Yes, right? Could be that too. We have a Christopher Bose. Christopher Bose, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. I just always have to say that just because it's, my job. And then we go.
Because we never remember to say that.
Exactly. So I thought I should remember, for once. And Kaylee says day, week, month, year. Yes.
Lifetime.
Yeah,
lifetimes.
It is. It is. It is.
It is.
So
how are you guys all doing? If you want to pop it in the chat, let us know how everybody's holding up.
What's going on?
Do the updates.
I just realized I don't have my ears in, so
Oh, you're not echoey or anything. I hear you. Okay.
But yeah, I usually go into a few things in the background.
Well,
and we don't need people hearing things that they don't need to hear.
Yeah.
Beeps and all that. So the Schumann is actually better today than it has been. There we go. Let's pull that up. Here we are. You see, we're actually at 13 today. So not too bad. It's been quite a bit higher, as you can see here. The last couple of days, we've had these large spikes, which has been, those are intense when we have those. And if we look down here, you can see here how April has been. We've had spikes all along, like lots and lots of these spikes as we come through. And that's really, a lot. Yes, that too. New moon was messing with us for sure.
Definitely. Well, and with all those spikes in April too, right? Remember when we did the reading for April, and so much of it was about that need to go inside and that need to reflect, right? So with all this energy coming in for us, right? And it's for us, being able to take that time to be able to reflect on the energy so that we can integrate whatever it is that's coming in, right? And so seeing April like that with all those spikes, it's like, all right, that really makes a lot of sense in terms of what, the reading for April said and what we need to be doing to take care of ourselves.
Exactly. And then we've got here, you see, we've had strong 42. It's been 42. It's been 53 and 42. With your baseline around 7.8 hertz, that's a pretty big jump right there. And then if we look over here at our solar activity, at the solar flares, they're pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a good thing, right? And let's see how our KP index has been. This has been something that's been high periodically. Looks like it's been good the last couple of days, but before that we had some spikes and they were actually we had an 8 about a week ago. And so that's pretty large in terms of that. So yeah, that's what's going on. We've got some other people joining us here. We have Living in Radiance. Hey, Catherine.
Hello.
We have Garnet. Hello, Garnet. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hello.
And what have we got going on in transits, Jen?
Yeah. So you guys probably have been feeling a bit of the shift because just between, yesterday and today, depending on where you are in the world, we're making a shift. And
Mhm.
in that 27, which was that selfishness, altruism, selflessness place. And we're just now moving into the gate 24 or the gene key 24. And it's the energy of addiction, right? We want to look at moving from the shadow of addiction to the siddhi of silence through the gift of invention. And now this is a big gate of the mind, right? So find yourself very much caught up in your head over the next 6 days, let's say for the week. You're going to know why. It's got to do with the transit, right? And so a big piece of this gate is learning how to connect with the body, right? Because we're going to spend that energy in the mind, and if we stay there, it's not going to go well for us, right? So if we can begin to run our thoughts through our different chakras, through our different centers in human design, especially because we recognize that authority-wise, we're going to be, different centers need to have time to process the energy themselves, right? It's not just in terms of, the mind trying to figure it out. We know the mind is not the authority here. So I was just pulling out the card for you guys because I didn't have it out earlier. And so just notice, right? If your thoughts are kind of looping and spinning in your mind, it's not going to get you very far at all. And so this week we want to observe the mind. We want to try to understand the mind's addictive patterns, right? So we're not necessarily talking about the substance addiction or, gambling addiction or any of that kind of stuff. It's really about the mind and how the mind is addicted to its own patterns. It wants to follow those patterns all the time. And so if the mind is addicted to negative thinking, we're going to notice that, and we're going to notice that coming up a lot, right? And so we had just done the show yesterday with Gerald on Creagus, right? To be able to bring in some of that creative activity that's going to move us beyond the patterns in our mind. That can be very, very powerful for the energy this week. Right. So how do I slow down? How do I see what it's like to kind of drop into or take time in the silence to find that pause? Right. And how does that feel? How does it feel to be in that energy? Right. Because in that energy, we're able to do something different. Right. So if you find that you're, this week kind of in that victimhood of addictive tendencies, or you're feeling like you're either frozen, right? We got that fight, flight, freeze. If you're frozen, right? Or if you're having that anxiety come up, that's the reactive state of this. Just notice that. And notice too, the fear associated with this gate is the fear of ignorance, right? That moment where we might be really worried that we don't know, right? And the mind starts to obsess. So just notice that, hold space for that, and kind of go, okay, what else is possible here? What else do I need to do to shift this, to change it, to be open, curious, right? I love that, open and curious. I say that maybe too much, but I say it a lot.
It's an important one, open and curious.
Right? So how can I find that gap, that space, right? Because the idea of the addictive pattern here is also this thing that the mind, it always has to be that hamster on the wheel. It always has to be running. It has to be going, going, going. So how can we find that stillness? How can we be okay in that place where it just goes, I just need to let it stop for a minute, right? And if it's still going, it's still going. But how can I rest in that peaceful energy or in that pause energy? And that might be taking a deep breath. That might be going for a walk outside, right? There's a lot of different things that we can do to tap into that energy. And so use them this week.
Mm-hmm. Very good. All right. It's going to be an interesting one. And we have Annie. Hello.
Hello.
And we have Brenda joining us. Hello. Another hello. It's that day. Lots of blessings to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Nalani says she's been revisiting the past lately. I don't want to take up residence there.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't want to take up residence there. We just,
Nope, pop
we
in, get the message.
pop in and
pop
leave.
out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hello, Shem. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for coming and sharing your beautiful energy with us.
Mm-hmm.
We had Christopher was asking if we're doing readings.
Not today.
Today's not a reading day, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
because we usually do this and we chat.
Mm-hmm. But we have a reading coming out for May.
We do. We recorded that the other day. And so that's coming out soon. And then we'll be doing our monthly readings, our live one at some point.
Yeah. Normally it's around the middle of the month.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Because I think we might have just done it, right? Not long ago. Feels like we did it not long ago, but things fly.
Oh, I thought we did it near the beginning of April. I don't know.
I don't know when we did it now. Oh, we did do it at the beginning of April. Yes, we did.
I don't know. Time
yes, we did.
Own entity.
So stay tuned. That's where you have to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then, you'll know when we're putting that up.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jonathan says, I walk every day and love my pre-dawn walks because I feel energized by them.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And seeing that he's in Hawaii, beautiful environment. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I have to say, though, we've had a great day today. It is gorgeous out there today. Beautiful temperature. It's like 20, which is like right in that nice sweet spot. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. It's finally getting warm in Canada, guys.
It is. Yeah, that's 20 Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit.
Yeah. It's about 7, give or take.
I just can't believe how quickly things are manifesting right now. They manifest quickly.
Yeah.
I had a thought about what I was gonna do. I thought, I'm not quite sure what to do. I get a phone call and my problem's solved.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, beautiful. Things are like instant manifestation right now.
It's pretty wild, the clarity that can show up, right? If we just, and I think this is a big piece, if we can just put it out there and then let it go, the universe has full capacity to work on it.
Yeah.
Right? When we try to hold on to it and all of that, then it can get a little sticky. There was a poem. I actually memorized it when I was quite young. It was in, I want to say maybe I guess high school, junior high, somewhere in and around there. And so we're talking about God in the poem, but you can make it whatever you want. But
swords,
Yeah. But the poem is, let me see if I can get it right now. As children bring their broken toys with tears for us to mend, I brought my broken dreams to God because he is my friend. But instead of leaving him in peace to work alone, I hung around and tried to help with ways that were my own. Finally, I snatched them back again and said, God, how could you be so slow? He said, my child, what could I do? You never would let go. Right?
That's a good one.
With me. That ability for us to let go. And it's so fitting for the energy that we're coming into, because that active mind is that energy of wanting so desperately to hold on to something.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think when we get into chaos, it gets like that, right? So you got a fan thwarp.
Well, I mean, since
and a mic drop
isn't here to do it, and it's Kaylee saying it.
There you go. You have to show people your fan. Every time we pull it out, we need to show a fan.
Yes, so this was my beautiful fan from Fogo Pogo, which is amazing. I absolutely love it.
Okay, so if you're going to show yours, then I'm going to show mine too.
Oh, is this what we're doing? You show me yours, I'll show you.
Not online, Jen. Okay, So this is
Oh, beautiful.
that awesome.
Really beautiful. Mm-hmm.
She did such a good job.
Yeah, they are really awesome. So, yeah. One other way to really navigate that addictive mind is humor. Right?
Uh-huh.
If we can bring in the humor, if we can have some fun with it, we can break up that very dense energy.
Absolutely.
And allow ourselves to open.
Yep. Shem says today is really good energy, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm feeling that too. Yeah. Kaylee says, I'm glad you still both love them. You both still love them.
Of course.
Absolutely. Shem agrees.
Yes.
And so does Jonathan.
There you go.
Hand painted. They're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Humor, exactly.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And humor can be a beautiful way of allowing us to let go too. Right?
Yeah.
Even on the most mundane things. I may have shared this before, but I remember one day getting up and I had made banana bread. And I was so excited to have a slice of banana bread. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good morning. And the banana bread's gone because the kids finished off the banana bread. And I was like, oh, man, I really would have liked to have some banana bread. But I don't feel like making any more banana bread. So it is what it is. No big deal. I was not that long later, like within the hour, but probably even less than that. My neighbor knocks on my door. I made a loaf of banana bread. It's too much for me to eat. Do you want some? Yes.
Speaking of instant manifestation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that awesome? That's fabulous.
But it can be that simple too, in terms of, just allowing things to be what they are, and then they unfold in these beautiful ways.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is just banana bread we're talking about.
Yeah. Mine was a beautiful gift. So
awesome.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we want to talk about today?
I don't know. You guys have something coming up? Shall I pull a card? What do you think? I mean, we still have some cards left from the Soul Truth deck, which we could do. We could talk a bit more about the energy that we're stepping into. We could talk about whatever you guys have coming up that you want to talk about.
Oh, Melanie says card. Fogo Pogo. Same happened to me this weekend. Oh, there we go. Same happened to me this weekend. I was struggling with some feelings about worthiness. 2 doorbells in the span of 5 minutes. One was my parents surprising me with a birthday gift. And the second was a friend sending me flowers for my birthday. So when you are in need and you trust, the source will bring
truth.
Yep.
Very, very true. All right. So the card came flying out.
Oh, that's it then. That's what we're supposed to do.
From whom can I release my judgment right now? Right. Again, this is a very freeing card, and it's very much speaks to the addictive mind, right? What we hold on to and what we pay attention to. And that judgment piece can be a big part of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it says, judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? And that could be yourself too, right? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? It says it right there in the card. I didn't have to say that. Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. So the soul action for today is look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child This is for yourself too. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they.
Beautiful. It is true. Yeah, I often talk to my clients about that. They're judging themselves for, I should have done that better, or I should have known better. I'm like, is this your first, like, it's okay. When we're 3, we don't just stand up and walk. Or not 3, I guess we're younger when that, but 2, we don't just stand up and walk. We do have to like fall down a few times and all that in the middle.
Yeah.
We can't just assume we know what we're doing. We're going to fail first attempt in learning. We're going to do that.
Yeah. Most definitely. And I think it's such an important piece when we look at that judgment aspect, right? Whether it's I should have known or they should have known or whatever the should haves are, we know how we all feel about the shoulds.
Don't should yourself to death, folks.
But we also have to recognize that we don't know where somebody else is at. And even ourselves sometimes, this happens with clients all of the time. We're reflecting back on something and, it's this idea of I should have done that, or I should have known better, or why did I do that? And it's like, okay, but wait a minute. You did the best you could do with the information you had at that moment. Don't judge past you for what you know now.
Exactly.
Right? Just move forward. But we can't change that. And no matter what it is that happened, you did what you could do in that moment with the information you had. Right. And so sometimes we look at that and go, yeah, but I didn't do a great job. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
There's lots of things I don't do a good job at.
Right. It's not like we sit here once we've learned how to do algebra and then yell at kindergarten me, who was just learning their numbers. Like, right? Like we wouldn't do that.
Yep, exactly. And hey Garnet.
Hello.
Yes, don't shoulder the should haves.
Yep, exactly.
Always question your perceptions and look at them from an outside perspective. Exactly.
Absolutely.
We fail at the first learning process because it's part of the learning journey, because it's a journey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, a little. But it does for all of us.
For all of us.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because Shem had made a comment of a potential topic, right? This idea of die before you die, which is, in so many mystical teachings, including the Sufi tradition. And the big piece of this idea is that letting go of the ego self, right? Like, how do I die before I die? The idea is that, these judgments, these things that I'm holding, these machinations of the mind, all of these things that really, again, fit with this transit right now, need to be let go of. Right? So how do I die before I die? Well, I notice, I'm holding on to this anger. I'm holding on to this frustration. I'm holding on to this judgment. I'm holding on to whatever it is. And I have to figure out how to release that. Right? And sometimes in that release is what we call an ego death. There is a part of us that goes down kicking and screaming because it doesn't want to let go of this belief that it has, or this, bias that it has, or whatever it is. And so we have to, learn how to navigate that shift within our own consciousness.
Yeah. Annie says, I've heard a lot of readers recently say there's no judgment here, followed by diatribes of how they feel about politicians. Do they realize the juxtaposition? They're human. They're probably caught up in their own fear about everything that's happening right now.
And there is a lot of fear in the collective around everything that's happening.
There is. Fear creates judgment, we get fearful, and I don't think that people mean to be judgy. I think that it's based on fears, depending on where their programming is and all that stuff. But yeah, no, you're probably right. They don't. Oftentimes we don't see stuff in ourselves, right?
No.
It's easier to see it in somebody else, but that's why people mirror each other. So we see it in somebody else, and we're like,
yeah.
And then we're like, oh, wait a minute. If I'm seeing it in them, is that in me too? I don't know, right? That's what the mirror does. It helps us to look at our own stuff.
Yeah.
Because we can't change what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Like, even in the scriptures, whether you believe them or not, like, one of the teachings that is so powerful is, don't reach to take the splinter out of somebody else's eye when you've got a plank in your own, right? It's about that reflection where we're able to kind of go, okay, wait a minute. Like, if I'm seeing this and it's triggering me, what's going on? Why is it triggering me? What's my belief around it? What's my judgment around it? Is it something that I don't want to look at because I don't like that it reflects something within me? Is it something I don't want to look at because it brings up a trauma in me? Like, there's all of these different things that we have to be conscientious of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it that this is bothering me?
Well, I think you were noticing. I didn't take from that, Nalani, that you were being judgy, not the way you wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you noticed it, is what I would say yours was, not judgment. You weren't on there ranting about it.
No, but I think it's such a valuable thing. Like, good on you, Hypnicity, because in that moment of being able to go, oh, like, okay, I'm putting a narrative to it based on my thought process. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they do know. I have no idea how to know, right? So that moment where you're able to go, okay, maybe this thought is a little bit, not very nice to them. That's okay, right? It's not good. It's not bad. It's just an experience, and you were able to notice what the experience was doing for you. So more power to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. If you notice things, that's like more than half of changing it. Mm-hmm. If it's something we choose to notice, because noticing just means you're pulling it up and going, is this serving me? Sometimes it is at that moment.
Well, and that's why I love John Kabat-Zinn when he talks about mindfulness, right? And his idea of it is this paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, as if your life depended on it.
Right.
Right? And each component in that is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because if we could do that, the amount of things that we could shift within ourselves is incredible.
That is true. Jonathan says, with the amount of fear running through all of us, it's important to embrace childlike joy and fun in the present moment as a way of fighting that fear and anxiety, even if only for a few minutes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I want everyone to win. I try to avoid the tendency to choose sides. Yeah, I would say I'm like that too. I try, but we are human. It's okay if we sometimes we do have to put things in perspective, right? In our perspective. I think we're not going to totally get away from judgment either, right?
No, and we need, this is a tough one, right? Because we need some aspect of it in order to have peace, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need to have that discernment. We have to have that ability to kind of go, this isn't actually okay, and this isn't going to serve us well. And we have to have capacity for that, right? Like, I think it's lovely, that idea of I want everyone to win. And I think in a lot of ways, we all would love that, everybody to be able to just have their best life. That would be incredibly amazing.
Yeah.
At the same time, it'd be really nice if winning wasn't the thing in question, right? If it wasn't a matter of win, because again, the moment that we have win, we have lose, right? We immediately,
it's that polarity.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That. And so, okay, we wouldn't even have win if we didn't have lose. So wouldn't it be nice if everybody just was? Right? But we don't, recognize, like, each thing that any one of us does has this ripple effect. And it ripples out and ripples out. And, when we look at what's happening in the world, sometimes one person winning, whatever that looks like, means that somebody else has to lose. And that's the part that, for all of us who are empathic and are feeling into these energies, this is the part where we go, this isn't okay, right? And it's not.
Sorry, I'm laughing because you did that and I like felt your breath here and I'm like, wait a minute. Jen and I are pretty connected. I just was like, oh. I didn't realize you were here, Jen. Sorry.
Hey, multidimensional living. But it is that beautiful ability for us to be able to feel all of that. And at the same time, we recognize that feeling all of that, we have to take care of ourselves too. Right? And this is where that idea of everybody winning, sometimes we have to say, hey, you do you. I just can't do that in my energy right now. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? To have that discernment and to put that boundary up. But I know that can be really hard.
Filter, everyone has them. Sorry.
Truth.
Trigger finger. I once worked with Bill Barr over 10 years ago. He taught a seminar on asking what ripples we cast. Very interesting to think of that these days. Definitely. What's his name? Wayne Dyer once said that one high vibration person can raise the vibration of 25,000 people. And that's the butterfly effect thing, right? Where you go out and somebody decides they're going to make a difference, so they smile at somebody. That one goes into work and he's managing a team, and that whole team has a good day because he's having a good day, and those people all go home to their families, end up having a good day, and and they go off to their evening activities and they spread that joy there, and it just ripples out. I know it's a little bit of a mundane example, but
it's a beautiful example.
Get where I'm getting from. It's like it's just a way to really know that you're making that difference. It's interesting though, because when you first said that, I noticed in myself a slight anxiety over that. And I was like, what is that? I guess my thoughts went to, oh, so if you do something wrong, that like ripples like. And I thought, all right, this is the judgment thing we were just talking about, Tanys. Come on. That's where my head went. And I was like, no. Taking self-judgment. We're throwing that out. But, it is the butterfly effect in stuff that we do. And we try to keep it positive so that we're putting positive stuff out in there. But it happens because we are human and we're allowed to be imperfect. And it's not a bad thing if something happens, because that is a learning. And oftentimes we've got soul contracts to go through those experiences. Right?
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we will do things exactly like you're saying. Sometimes
exactly. There's that too. Right? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay.
I got excited. So sorry.
That's okay. You just have to give it back to me. Yeah, sometimes, we're actually meant to, for lack of a better term, be the bad guy. Like sometimes we're meant to hold space for somebody else to have an experience. that they don't necessarily want to have. And we don't always want to be the one to give it to them. But I know that there have been times in my experience where somebody else has done something and it was heartbreaking for me. And yet the lessons that came from that were so powerful that I have to hold gratitude to that person for being willing to take on that role in order to trigger that within me so that I could make the shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got a lot of comments here.
Yeah.
That
that
was the one I just had up, right? It could be wrong or someone could lose anyways. Yeah. And then we've got, and we all have to play both sides of the coin to experience it all. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Earth School.
Yeah. And to your first comment there, Kaylee, too, as long as we are being as authentic as we can be, and we try to do what feels the most correct for us in that moment, even if it's not necessarily what somebody else would want, sometimes we have to make that decision. And we can't always worry about how everybody else is going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be very, very hard, especially when we feel whatever the other person is going to feel.
Indeed. And the empaths, which I'm sure all of you watching are, that is our plight, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We all have opportunities to learn or teach based on where we are in our path.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think that we do that all the way along our path, both of those things. Yeah. Most teachers I know are always learning too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And students teach the teachers all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let that inner judge babble all they want. You don't have to hold on to those judgments just because they ripple through us. You can acknowledge that they happen without any actions taken on them.
Absolutely.
Yes. Easier said than done, I acknowledge. He says, yes, indeed.
This is where we look at, like, well, in the therapy world, we talk about diffusion, right? That ability to understand, I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. I'm just having a thought. I'm having a feeling. I'm having an experience because of them, right? And it's the same with the judgment piece. If the judgment comes in, there's nothing wrong with us going, oh, I just thought that. That's interesting. Where did that come from? Is that mine? Is that an intrusive thought? Huh. Okay. Is there anything I have to do with it? No. All right. See ya.
That's what I did with my anxiety thing. I was like, where's that coming from? You don't need that right now. Melanie says she loves these conversations.
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. Same.
Thank you. And a big hello to Patricia.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
The best teachers are those that never stop learning. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there we go again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so often, right, we talk about the spiraling, right? How we can spiral in our own mind, which again fits with the energies that we're going to be stepping into, is that potential that we might be spiraling in our own mind. And, if we can catch it, and this is the other piece, right? Like, we talk about, can I notice it when it comes in? And then, maybe we don't. Maybe we go with it. Maybe we let it just, right, spin. And then all of a sudden we're like, what have I been thinking about? Like, what have I been doing? Right? It's not too late to just go, ooh, nope.
Yep. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That brain trying to tell us stories again.
Yeah.
Having 2 young kids recently move into my house has altered my lifestyle. I realize that at 4 and 9, they are watching us. They are always watching us.
Even at 30, they're watching.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, that was the energies. She says she's okay today.
Good.
Yeah, good. It does feel more settled today. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, and I think kids can be so much fun in terms of the innocence of it all, right? They'll just come out and say something and you're like, ooh, okay. Good to know.
They're great little mirrors, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Very much so. Yeah.
So in light of our card, right? This oops, I put it over here. I'm like, that's not our card. What am I doing? When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. Right? Like how can we hold space for that, right? That idea of I am loved, I am limitless. Because there's so much power in that. And I think that we often, again, that idea we were talking about with like the win and lose and all of that, we often think like, well, if I allow myself to be limitless, what am I going to take away from somebody else, right? That fear that can come in and that self-judgment that holds us down, right? Because we want to make sure that we're holding space for everybody. So what are some things that you guys do to open yourselves to feeling loved and limitless?
That is an interesting one. What are your thoughts?
Right?
I feel like for me, it's when I'm meditating and opening that heart chakra. I find that helps me to feel that expansiveness. The children, yeah. Well, we are sending love and light. Pens of love and light.
Well, and that's such an opportunity, right? Because that idea of feeling loved and feeling limitless, if we can hold space for that within ourselves, right? Because then there's also the and so are they aspect of this. Then we can hold that space for them too, right? So how can we nurture ourselves and our experience if I know that I am loved and I know that that potential there is limitless? I can hold space for you when you don't feel well. I can hold space for you when there's something going wrong or you're feeling a certain kind of way, right? We have more capacity when we're able to honor that within ourselves.
Yeah. Kaylee says, I know I've personally been working on allowing, not letting my brain to filter it, but just letting it be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is hard, right? And the brain filters it and then it wants to take it on. It wants to make it its own narrative. It's its own thing. Right? Yeah, exactly. But we can kind of go, wait a minute. This isn't, I don't have to own this. I don't have to carry this. I don't have to hold on to this.
Yeah. Especially when it's somebody else's to hold on to. You don't need that.
No. But sitting in silence is really hard, right? The mind doesn't like to be quiet.
It is true. That's why they call meditation a practice, because it takes practice.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're able to notice, like, okay, here's the mind going on and on and on. All right, I need to say, sometimes I tell clients, name the mind bully, right? Or name the whatever it is in the mind that's going on about something, right? And it's like, all right, be quiet now, whatever it is you want to call it.
Yes. And sometimes it's our guides telling us stuff because we're not listening. But they don't usually repeat and repeat and repeat like that. That's more the brain. Unless it's like urgent. But that's rare.
Yeah.
Except for those times, when restaurants where you're being told to go and tell somebody something and
and you're like, I'm just leaving.
I'm not. Exactly. I'm just leaving.
And then
I'm
they
not going to say that. And they put something in your way so you can't leave.
You should
go
share
tell them.
Story.
So I took my son to an audition in Toronto. And we're there, and I went off to the washroom. I come back, my mom's talking to the owner, and the guides are like, tell her she has nice energy. That was like early days for me, so I was just starting to get my feeling comfortable with the whole energy healing thing. I'm like, I'm not going to tell her that. Like, she's going to think I'm crazy. I'm not going to do that. And they're like, tell her she has nice energy. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And so then we start to move towards the door. And we're standing at the top of the door. There's only this one staircase for us to go up and down to get out. And I'm like, nope, we're leaving. And my mom stops to say something more to her at the top of the stairs. And they're like, tell her she has nice energy. I'm like, nope, I'm not. Nope. And I turn around to go down the stairs. The pop guys come. And they're blocking the stairs. And they're like, see? Tell her she's got nice energy. At this point, I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I can do this. So I turned to the woman. I said, so I'm an energy healer. And I just need to tell you, you have nice energy. Well, she burst into tears. She so needed to hear that today. And it turned out we had a mutual friend here in Ottawa. Yeah. So they can be a little insistent if it's necessary. She really needed somebody to tell her that. She was having a day. So, yeah. So sometimes you get the repeat. I had it with a little girl in a restaurant one day too. She looked at me and I looked at her and it was like that activation thing. So I think I must have activated something in her or something. Anyway, she wasn't behaving, I guess, the way her mother would like her to. And the guides were like, you need to go tell her mom she's got a big mission. I'm like, are you? No. I'm not going to go and tell this mother that her daughter's got a big mission in the middle of the restaurant. And I'm with my mom's friends. I'm like, I'm not getting up out of it. No. Next thing I knew, I was standing up to go and tell her. So I go up to her and I say, so I just want to tell you, she's got like this big mission. And the mom looks at me and she goes, well, she is not acting well right now. So she's got some learning to do. Like, okay, that's my cue. And I turn around and go back to my table. I guess my job is done.
Well, it really speaks to that. We just do what we're told. It doesn't matter how they respond. It'll be what it'll be. Sometimes it's like cool. And other times you're just like, I don't know why I had to say that, but I'm out of here now.
I have a feeling that that's going to come up later in life. And she's going to remember the crazy woman at the restaurant that went and told her told her daughter had a big mission. So I don't think that was for immediate reaction. I think that's for down the road, something's going to happen and she's going to, yeah, that's what she was talking about. That 20 years ago when she accosted me in the restaurant. When I'm trying to deal with my kid.
Yeah. Well, and it speaks to those ripples again, right? Like we don't know sometimes the extent of the impact that we have.
And who knows, maybe it diffused something too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I may never know, but it's okay. I don't need to. I did what I was told.
Yeah, right there, that.
Now, I don't recommend doing what everybody tells you to do. That's not the recommendation. No. But the guides have a little more insight than we do sometimes.
Yeah. what they tell us is different
Yes, indeed.
than what the mind might tell you.
Mhm. Mhm. Bye, Patricia. Thanks for joining us. Much love.
Much love.
Hi, Sonia.
Amazing. Well,
are you ready for home play? Is that what you've got there?
That's what I got here. So again, we're still doing the seeds from the sacred feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as much as we can never make this stuff up. Release your shame.
Of course. Release the shame and judgment. Exactly. It's all about release today. Right?
It is. Okay, so I might need to turn a light on. Hold on. Okay. It says, release your shame. Go ahead and fart. Yes, grandchild. We know this natural. I can't even do that.
Haley, pay attention. We had a whole conversation. We had a whole conversation. Dinner on the weekend.
Yes. Around farting?
Going out to all you ladies. Oh dear. Okay, sorry.
All right.
I had so farting is an expression of energy, and the body has to process energy in all different ways. Farting is one of them.
So is burping.
And so is burping. Right, Jen?
Absolutely. So ladylike.
Bodily functions play a role in energy management.
Yes.
So please, let's remove the judgment and go ahead and fart. There we go. Please continue. I can't believe that card says that.
It's right there. Go ahead. Go ahead and fart.
This was such a sacred, it's a sacred feminine deck, folks.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's like one of my favorites.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Release your shame. Go ahead and fart. Yes, grandchild, we know this natural musical occurrence makes you giggle. Laugh away. It is time to let go of the shame that shadows your physical body. You are an honored piece of creation. All of you is worth celebrating. We see your discomfort in the bodily functions, and we see you diminish when you choose to dislike some of the physical aspects of your body. This does not need to be so. In the realm of the sacred feminine, every part of you is sacred. You are made up of the 4 sacred elements. I'm going to keep on reading, which meant that air, fire, earth, and water express themselves through you in wonderful ways. Do not judge nature's creation. You were made perfectly by the Creator. The way that your body expresses itself is also perfect. Your mind has convinced you that bodies are flawed and farting is shameful because the collective mind has chosen to believe it. Do not be fooled. Your physical body is a treasure trove of wisdom. Listen to it, then enjoy the pleasure the body can bring.
I'm laughing at some of the comments. So we're going to welcome Annie Bear, standing in light with Annie Bear. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
We're playing her song, apparently. She came in right at that time.
Right at the start.
And then this was shared.
Love it.
And so I was laughing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as was she.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so yes, we've been on for 53 minutes. We've been talking about all sorts of things, but we're doing the home play. at this point. And so apparently we're supposed to just fart.
Hey, release. We're supposed to release. Release the shame, release the judgment, release. And I mean, how perfect is this? Again, we can't make this stuff up. And the transits, we need to get out of the mind. We need to run stuff through the body. And sometimes that means we gots to fart. And that is okay.
It is a natural body function, folks. We've been led to believe that it isn't ladylike. But it is our body doing its natural. What did it call it? It said something about song. Body song?
Oh, yes.
Right at the beginning.
Hold on. We know this is natural musical. We know this natural musical occurrence makes you giggle. So it's a natural musical occurrence.
There we go. It's a natural musical occurrence.
What was it that happened the other day? We were on together and I don't know if I yawned or something, some kind of noise came out of me. And then Zoom was like, do you want to turn on sound for musician? I was so not singing just
That was funny. It asked about the musicians thing, turning the music. Yes. I was like,
I don't know what just
happened. Speaking of body music. Oh my goodness.
It's never dull.
Well, this is because you create a safe space. I actually had a friend client tell me she loved that she didn't have to worry about that when she's at my sessions compared to massage, etc., where she's paranoid. It's because you create a safe space for it, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's right. Yeah. When you're in your 60s, it just happens, honey.
But it just happens anytime.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it really does, especially when you're doing yoga. My dad used to say beans. Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat your beans with every meal.
Well, I don't know if I want to toot that much. I think I will limit my beans. Well, this has turned into quite the conversation.
This is when you take judgment and throw it out the window.
Exactly. So please don't judge us.
Or judge away. Whatever. I mean, if we're being honest, if you're going to judge us, the only person that it's going to impact is you. So don't hurt yourself with all that. But if you do, it's the journey you're choosing to be on.
Oh dear.
Yeah, my dad, we're talking about things our dad used to say. My dad used to, my dad's thing was, so and so, whoever it was, like, John's dad would always say, better out than in. That's what so and so would always say.
Yep, I've heard that one. Well, yeah, it's accurate, right? It is accurate. Toodaloo. What is this little character? Oh, is that beans?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Very cool.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you.
Salad.
Oh, salad. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do
it too.
Roughage. So, what have we got going on this week?
Yeah, I think we got quite a bit going on, don't we?
We do. I know that we have a very unique thing happening on Wednesday. That's new for us. We are going to be on Discord.
Yes.
Doing a version of Galactic Gab. And it's just you and I believe. I think Lisa's not able to join us. It's not the whole Galactic Gab show. We're just going to have a Galactic Gab. So come and gab with us about galactic stuff.
You can ask galactic questions and just have some fun chatting about experiences. All kinds of fun stuff.
Yes, exactly. So it's actually going to be in the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact server, Discord server. I think that's what they're called, as servers.
Can we put that in there? I am so not savvy on Discord.
We're just learning on Discord. So there is a Twillow Lifestyle one as well, Twillow Lifestyle community server as well. But this particular one is going to be on the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. And I think once we get the event created, we'll be able to share the event link.
That's what it is. So yeah, the room is created on Discord, but we have to do the event.
Yeah, I think we have to create the event still. So once we create that, so stay tuned to our Facebook pages, because we will share it on Facebook and wherever else we can. This will probably be done in the next, 24 hours, I would think.
There it is. Create an invite.
Oh, you can do it and then put it right in the chat?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Set this link to never expire.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
See if this works, guys.
So we're going to try it.
If not, message us on Facebook if you want to join, and we will figure out how to get it to you.
Yeah, because we're going to go. If you guys are not familiar with Discord and you want to take that plunge, basically it means it's kind of like being on a Zoom with us, because it's a room and we all show up in video and we chat.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, so it'll be kind of fun to come and chat with us, do a galactic gab with us, and see how it works. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact.
Right.
We're both galactic ambassadors with them and with the Galactic Federation. And so, so we're just playing our active role here by doing that. So that's on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern.
8:30. Yes.
What else have we got going on?
Well, Gerald and I are on with Kaylee. Maybe Kaylee can throw the time in there again just to confirm it for me. Because my brain is saying 8, but I just want to be sure I've got that right. So
it says it's not valid.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not open at the moment, so maybe 8. Okay, perfect. On Woo Woo Wonderments. So Kaylee's 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
Our show, and and then I think the rest of the stuff I've got going on, we can talk about next Monday.
I also have spa readings on Sunday, this coming Sunday, with Kaylee and with Gerald. So come and join us for that. That'll be a lot of fun. That is on Sunday the 4th at 11 a.m.
Perfect.
So that's what's going on for us. I have a Reiki 2 in person on Saturday, if anyone's interested in that. And then we're back here.
Yeah.
Bye, Annie.
Bye. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're wishing you all a wonderful week. Come and see us and chat and all that on all these different platforms and different shows. We love having you join us and
absolutely.
Final thoughts, Jen?
Release what needs to be released and give yourself as much grace as possible in the process.
Don't judge your farts.
Or anything else for that matter.
Or anything else. This is not a word I ever expected myself to say on a live podcast. So,
hey,
you heard it here, folks. Authentic conversation. Have an awesome week, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Lots of love.